bullish on Ethereum. So here's my
as you
thesis.
should be.
Okay, here's my thesis. I think we're definitely going to retrace sooner or later. There's definitely a lot of liquidity to be captured down below, let's say 70K or 75K.
Yeah.
So that's the retracement that we're going to have. But overall, Ethereum should go up. Like, it's a
100%.
really good chain. A lot of layer ones are built on top of it. Lots of utility coins are built on top of it.
Yep.
The reason why we're pumping right now is Trump won the elections and is also building a coin on Ethereum.
Yeah, right. The only thing about Ethereum is I'd want to see the inflows of the Ethereum ETFs start to pick up a little bit more, right? Like I saw the other day we had an $11 million day.
Yeah.
Right, which is pretty pathetic for
when Bitcoin is like a 6 billion, I think.
Yeah. 1.2 billion in one day, consecutively followed by 1.1 billion the next day of inflows.
Yeah. No, Bitcoin dominance is very crazy right now. I think when that retraces a little bit, and we've seen that happen actually. Ethereum was pumping like crazy when Bitcoin was just going up slowly, even though Bitcoin already had his all-time high breaking.
Exactly. Yeah.
In my opinion, right now what's happening is, and I've seen people also say the same thing on Twitter. Right now, Bitcoin broke all-time high. Right now, it's more of a PvP between Solana and Ethereum, which one will break all-time high. And once they all break all-time highs, it will be like an expansion kind of phase where they all kind of go up together. I don't know if that's how it's going to work.
It is, because money flows, right? So first, from Bitcoin, I actually sold all my Bitcoin a few days ago. I have 0.25 Bitcoin left just to ride. And I swapped all on
one quick favor. My mom has been holding Bitcoin since 2021.
Okay.
Just tell her to sell. She would not trust me.
So, dear Majid's mom.
Yep.
I respect you very much. This is just my advice. Please sell your Bitcoin. Okay? You're in a good amount of profit today, even for those who have bought recently are in very good profit. Whether you sell it now or you wait for it to even go to that 100K mark that everybody is waiting for.
She's waiting for 120K.
120K.
Yeah. Every day it's funny. She wakes up praying, please hit $1 million. Hit $1 million.
Hey, I really hope that that's true. Trust me.
Yeah,
Trust me. I would love for that to happen. But if you just could please sell your Bitcoin and put it into Ethereum, that would really make both of us very happy.
Yeah. Here's the reason why she doesn't trust me though.
Yeah.
So I kind of got her to those Bitcoins, and I was very early into crypto. So whenever I see a red candle, I'm like, Mom, please sell, please sell. So she lost a lot of the Bitcoins she had due to me selling her early. So we sold around like 60K, 50K, 40K. Like on the last bull market when it was going down, we started selling slowly. So now whenever I tell her to sell, she's like, no, it's going to keep going up.
Yeah.
It's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. And she's kind of true. Like I told her to sell 68K. I told her to sell at 75K, and now it's at 80K. So every time I tell her to sell again, she's like, no, it's going up. It's going up.
Yeah.
But now that you've told her, I'll show her that clip and maybe she can be convinced to sell.
Definitely.
She doesn't have anything else but Bitcoin.
And you know what? That's good. I like that. Right? It's as long as you can flow your money with the natural flow of the market, right? From Bitcoin to Ethereum to large market cap alts to the lower market cap alts, and then back into Bitcoin eventually. I think you'll be on the right side of profit.
Yeah, I mean she's up a lot right now, obviously, because everyone is up.
Yeah.
I still don't think she'll sell them, but we'll see. After I'm back home, I'll try and pitch her again.
Yes, 100%.
She is waiting for 120K Bitcoin.
Okay.
She is waiting. Maybe that is true because a lot of people on Twitter are also saying 120K Bitcoin. Being realistic though, for that to happen, there needs to be a lot more money flowing in and a lot less use like me. A lot. That's true. People need to sell less and they need to believe. Actually, before we talk about that, do you want to talk more about Zyro?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So Zyro is basically what I do here is I bring in clients who are want to learn how to trade using leverage as well as spot trading crypto, right? So it can be a really hard journey to get into crypto in the first place. Like I've had a lot of students look at me and say, how did you even figure this out on your own? And personally, I don't have an answer. Right? It's just time in the market. So Zyro is a place for me to offer all of that experience that I've gathered from these 3 to 4 years that I've been doing crypto and directly transfer it over to the clients. Yeah. I work with some higher ticket clients. I also work with some lower ticket clients. Well, Zyro is created so that I can bring everybody together and I can offer services that meet every single niche, right? Because I want people to win. And a big thing in my life is I like to help people and I like to donate. Right. So this is my way of helping people, and everything that a lot of the money that I make in Zyro is a percentage is taken out and given to charity, because these are two things that I believe are going to keep me strong in life and as well as in faith.
Yeah,
right? So when it comes to being able to help others, I bring an affordable way for the new traders to enter crypto, and I bring a more higher ticket approach to the people who are already in crypto but find themselves not being as profitable as they want to be.
fair enough. So just for context, Zyro is his company. If you guys want to check it out,
Yeah,
it's zyro.info, or
yeah,
on his Instagram, we'll link it below.
appreciate it.
That sounds very, very interesting. I do get the value of what you're offering. A lot of people might see that as a scam for a valid reasons. I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of like people nowadays try and sell you on this idea of trading, having
courses and all
courses and all
this.
that.
Yeah,
And you see a
yeah,
lot of teenagers doing that. I
yeah,
don't see that with you. I see it with a lot of people like teenagers who don't make money trading and then they make money selling courses,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is fair. I mean, if that's what
Hey,
you want
do
to
your
do,
hustle, but at the same time, it's like now whenever someone says, "Hey, sell me your course," you think straight away scam, or you
yeah.
think he's not making enough money in trading that he needs to offer these courses.
It's so funny because when I made my course, because I made it just because a few of my friends asked me to teach them what I know.
Yeah,
So I made a course for free, entirely free. Every time I would talk about it on my story, a bunch of people send me, "Oh, you're a scammer now." Even my own friends who know it's free,
yeah,
like they would send me memes. I know they're trolling. I don't really take it personally. They
sure.
would send me memes of fake gurus sending courses too. So they're trying to
Yeah,
say that I'm
yeah,
also one of those gurus. No disrespect. If I know
of
some of
course.
them follow me. Like at the end of the day, if you're an actual trader and just trying to share value, even if you want to capture some value out of it, like some benefits out of it
Yes,
too, I think it's completely fair. Because I was a game developer, I learned a lot of game development over 5 years. Sharing it with someone else would have saved someone minimum 2 or 3 years.
exactly.
And when it comes to trading, you're saving them money too
Yeah.
on making mistakes.
And my favorite part is when my students come back to me and said, look, like I'm able to do this on my own now. Like this isn't something where I'm trying to get you on a monthly retainer for a year or something.
Yeah,
I'm here to get you in and out the door as fast as possible.
yeah.
Right?
At the end of the day, I learned most by experience. And if in trading I had someone guide me through mistakes that I made, I personally didn't really care, but I know a lot of people did. I would do. I actually,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have lost the same. I lost over six figures just leverage
of
trading.
course.
So that would have been at least minimized if I had someone like look over some of the trades I placed. I'll be
Yes.
honest, a lot of it was just like clicking a button while playing CS:GO or
Yeah.
playing Valorant or
That's
whatever.
actually interesting that you say that because I found that the best traders were all gamers at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is that something you've noticed?
Let me think.
Personally, I wasn't a gamer. I was the guy who would be bad at the game. No one wanted to play the game with me. I was left all alone.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still
Yeah.
bad as well. I just
Okay,
play.
fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, yeah, you just play, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's so fun,
yeah,
especially with friends like at night, you're gaming.
yeah,
And I have like multiple screens. So I would have like the chart on one screen and the game on the other screen.
nice.
And just play, play, play. I see, let's say, red candles. Now it's time for reverse. I would go
Uh
long.
huh.
I've made money that way, but also lost obviously a lot
Yeah,
more.
because that strategy does work, right? Buying big red candles, right? But sometimes there's a bit more technical analysis that needs to
Yeah,
go into it, and like that's where you have to have a good understanding of your emotions as well, because sometimes you just want to get in and you see a big red candle and it just dumps on you further, right? So
100%. What was the moment in your career that was like a breakthrough moment where you felt like now I can not be part of the 9 to 5? Not that nothing wrong with being
no,
in
absolutely
nine to
not.
five,
Yeah.
but I think it's a transition going from working 9 to 5, if you've ever done, to hey, I'm able to be on my own schedule and also make my own money whenever I want.
Exactly. Well, for me personally, it was getting into this journey. I was trying to think of, am I going to be able to risk this kind of time when I'm older? And since my answer was no, I went in head on. But to answer your question, it wasn't per se a moment. It was a collection of moments that led up to an unreal realization one day that, oh my God, I now have enough to call it quits, right? To say, hey, look, I don't need to be a part of. For me, it was less of the 9 to 5. It was more of going into education. And, I was blessed to have parents who really support me. So they wanted me to go the education route and continue to get educated throughout my life. And being able to realize that, wow, this is a powerful tool and no hate towards it whatsoever, but I'm able to now shift my focus onto doing something that is my passion. Right, it was a very bliss moment when I'd gone through it. The breakthrough moment specifically was between September 2023 till around, like, I'd say like February, March, because that's when we started to feel that euphoria really in the markets. And before the summer lull had started, I had started to take all my profits out and then reinvest them pretty much recently. But this breakthrough year, I want to call it, was very big for me because I started to appreciate life a lot more. I now had that feeling of, wow, I have something to offer. I did something that a lot of people can't do, right? And it gave me the confidence to be able to speak more often. It gave me the confidence to be able to not be so flashy, not be so trying to chase after things that people see as wealth, but kind of create my own path and be unique and be proud of it, right? Because a lot of people get knocked off for that. So for the idea for me was having the freedom to do quite literally whatever I want with my life, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of had similar experience where I had multiple moments,
Yeah.
but quite recently I looked back and started reflecting on my own life. There is a lot that has changed since the past like 4 years. And it's what you said, the ability to be able to do whatever you want. You as you do it, you don't really realize it as long as you as since or you all you have to do is like sit down and see what you can and cannot have.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone has something that someone else doesn't have. So if you look at people in Canada, regardless if they're doing a minimum wage job or whatever, if you compare them with people in like Syria, China, whatever, they have more than those people. But for me, it was looking at majority of the people, and I'm like, I do things that other people never heard of. Like, there's a lot of those things.
Yeah.
I personally got into this thing that you said, flashy stuff. I
Yeah.
like flashy stuff. I
Yeah. And
won't
that's
lie.
okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's not to impress others. It's more I liked it and I bought it.
I'm guessing before you had all of this money, right? You were looking at these things saying, I want this, right?
Kind of. I feel like I did. I don't remember exactly, but the moment where I'm like, I want to buy it was when I started going to conferences and seeing all those people wearing those nice things. I still think they're nice,
Of course.
so I'm like, I'll just buy them too
Yeah.
because I could, and it doesn't really hurt financially that
Not
much. It
at
just
all.
looks cool, and
Yeah.
to me, it's not more. It's like I bought diamonds. I'm not wearing any right now. That thing looks insanely good.
Yes.
Like in
Yes.
person, if you look at diamonds, it just
Yeah.
looks crazy.
I'm a big jewelry guy. I love my jewelry. I actually have it tattooed on my arm.
I can see you also
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
some diamonds too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just look insane.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people that look like you're flexing or whatever, to me, I wear it because I like it and it looks good. I have a chain too, and it pisses me off so much because I can't see it, but I know it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
So when I look in the mirror, it looks really good.
Yeah. And that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm going to give you some real talk at the end of the day, bro. People look at other people, and either the first thing they think when it comes to this whole drip and wearing nice things and having jewelry and stuff, the first thought that comes to their mind is jealousy, right? So either they're going to call it fake, or they're going to see someone next to you who bought their stuff off of Alibaba or something, and they'll be like, "Well, it's the same thing. It's no difference. You wasted your money. You're stupid, if anything."
Yeah.
And that's that kind of what really got to me. It's because I had people coming to me and saying, "Hey, look, our watches, they're the same thing." My whole life growing up, I don't want to say I'm materialistic, but I have materialistic dreams, of course, right? I'm only human. Growing up, I always wanted to get into watches. I always wanted to get into jewelry. I loved it, right? But having that moment where people would come up to you and be like, "Yeah, well, it's the same, made in the same factory." That those lines, they kind of pissed me off to a certain point. But then I started to understand that it's like, you can feel the way you want, but I'm doing this for myself. Right. And I think that's what you're touching on, is the idea of that freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah, and that's the realization I had recently, very recently, like being able to eat at like simple things like eating whenever you want, whatever you want, wherever you want, is a luxury that a lot of people do.
You're never really stuck.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you also talked about donations as well. I also feel good when I give money to people. I don't do it publicly because I don't think you get the benefits. We're both Muslims, so you don't
Yeah.
really get the benefits when
No.
you do it publicly. I only did it twice publicly. I did say the amount once. For on my Instagram, I was making.
I actually saw the video.
Yeah, I was making a video, and it was $1,000. I just didn't want to waste that money, because being quite honest, like I didn't need anything at the time to buy. I was like, all right, what's something I could do? Donation. So I went up to someone. I'm like, say $1,000, and I'll donate $1,000.
Wow.
And then we're like, oh, we also got to eat. So I
Yeah.
converted the currencies from USD to Canadian, and there's a big difference. So we ate with the rest.
Yes.
And I put that out. I got like even my own friends are calling me, you're farming views for with donations. That's not true. I don't really care about the views. At the end of the day, if I want to grow my Instagram, I would have bought bots. I would have bought it, viewed
There's
the
so
views
many
as well,
ways. Yeah.
and I would have run ads for them too. I just wanted to put that out for another specific reason, and we can talk about it that reason later. It's more about building trust with the community that I have which a lot of them are actually very, very quite wealthy. So building that trust with showing that I can make wealth, I can make people, other people money too, and I know how to make money. That way, when I show them something like MicroGPT, they're going to be like, all right, this guy is trustworthy. He does this, and he also makes money.
Yeah.
It's more convincing for them to actually like at least look at MicroGPT and what that does. Because I've
100%.
been working on that for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
When it comes to donations, I actually love that about you, the fact that you have that from Zyro, because I think a lot of people that I know personally, they look at the money they made as if it's their
Their
own
money.
money,
And
and
it's not God.
it's never gonna go,
Yeah.
and nobody else deserves this kind of money. But I feel
Indeed.
like a lot of people take that for granted. And for me specifically, I think God has been giving me money and blessing me with a lot of it because I've been able to donate a lot of this money away to people
Yes.
and take care of different families.
What you give will always come back tenfold. Right?
100%, and that's how it was for me. So just for the people listening, just go give some money,
Yeah,
Palestine,
please
whoever you want
do.
to support.
Yeah.
Not touching politics, but yeah, if you want to support whoever, go donate money.
Yeah.
That's a great way to give back. I know someone who does Crypto Wizard as well. He has been opening schools in Nigeria and everything like that. People who give money, I feel like, are people who are super, super kind and super thoughtful of others. And that's the kind of people you want around you, not the people who are jealous. And I try to separate myself a lot from the ones who give those sorts of lines. What do you think is the future of AI?
It's tough to say. No, I'm joking. It's really easy to say that this is something that's gonna. It's not a bubble. Okay, people think we're already in this bubble, but they're just saying that to make themselves feel better because they're not a part of it, right? Being in the space in general, just even having a little bit of test of waters, right? Being in there, understanding what AI is, understanding the benefits of how it can bring value to you, especially when it comes to crypto, right? Looking at these massive AI projects, right? We had a huge run, right? It's not only about the amount of money you can make, but it's about the technological advancements that can be done. You see how far we've come. Yo, AI wasn't a thing when we were doing NFTs.
Yeah.
Like it was a thing, but like it wasn't as accessible. Right now, imagine making an NFT project now. I would have, instead of spending like 6 to 8 months developing a project, it would have maybe taken me 6 to 8 days.
100%, yeah.
Right. So it's about the efficiency. It's about using it as a tool rather than using it to take over. Right. A lot of people think, oh, well, AI is going to be taking over jobs. AI is going to be doing all this. But I personally think that it can be a great aid to human society to further develop what we already know.
I understand that. And I think actually we had a Twitter space before talking about that exact topic, how AI right now can be used to make people more productive in their day to day.
Yes.
And when I was a developer back in 2020, 2023, that's pretty much when ChatGPT was becoming popular. It was a thing back before, even OpenAI and everything like that. It just wasn't very mainstream.
Yeah.
So when I got my hands on it, I was like, this is crazy. The things it's capable of is just beyond crazy. And I think, to your point, it will be replacing people. It will be replacing lots of jobs. What kind? That's for the future.
Yeah.
But also the bubble thing. I think every industry has an S curve, and right now we're at the start, like at the very start of the S curve for AI. There's a lot of more advancements coming in, and the future is, you can see it in two ways: either scary or very big. I think it's both of them, going to be scary and massive.
Fair.
But right now, the way you can utilize AI is just becoming more productive in your day to day. Lawyer, student, a lot of students use it. I don't think schools should be banning it, but in jobs, I've used it a lot to make myself more productive.
Yeah.
And that's like what MicroGPT does. That's their main mission. Our main mission is to make developers, a specific niche in the job industry, to be more productive. So we built tools for those developers to help them in their day-to-day to become more productive. So let's say you're writing code. Instead of having to go to Google and looking for the bug that you have, in the code editor where you're typing code, it would say, here, you have a bug here. Or if you wrote code, a lot of times there's, in even like our lives, right? There's multiple ways you can get to a destination.
Yes.
But even with code, there's different ways you can write the same code that does the same thing. So the AI algorithm would actually suggest ways for you to write that stub of code better, all within the code editor.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the last thing is, this is offered by other competitors as well, but we try and make ourselves unique by making sure the quality is good. Because with AI, if you feed it garbage, you get garbage out as well.
Garbage in, garbage out. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make ourselves unique in that way, but it's called auto code generation.
Okay.
That was the thing I was doing back in 2022, 2023. A lot of my scripts that I would write are super redundant. Like I was a game developer, so let's say I want to write a bullet class or like a script for bullets.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every single time I make a new game. I was a contractor, so I would build like 15 different games. I could just copy paste them, but say this bullet has different features.
Yeah.
Let's say it has a trail or like an explosion effect. Instead of writing that entire piece of code, I would just go to ChatGPT, write me that script, and put it right in.
Yeah.
So that user experience MicroGPT does enhance by having it all within the code editor. You just do like a comment and say, write me this type of code, and we'll put it within the script.
That MicroGPT offers.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
this is our main kind of main offering. This
Yes.
is one of our missions, which
And it's
is
very unique, right? Because you see, as you said, you'd go into ChatGPT, you would come back, right?
Yeah.
And offering a user enhanced, a user interface that's enhanced with AI is amazing, because it's not like they have to leave and to go anywhere, and you know it's created by people who know what they're doing,
yeah.
right? You yourself were a software developer, so you understand how best to help other coders do their coding, and what better way than to offer them a tool that can do it already better than they can, right?
100%. That's one of our missions, is to make sure that people are more productive, and we're doing this. We're doing some test cases right now to see how much more productive they are using our tools. And we support a bunch of different things with our products. Like if you use Visual Studio Code, which is a platform where you write code, or if you're using Remix IDE, I'm sure you've used that
No,
to
no.
build smart contracts.
Yeah.
So we have a Chrome extension for that, and we have a bunch of different things. But I wanted to ask actually before I jump into the next product or next mission, what makes a project successful in Web3?
Okay, so I have a 3-step strategy to identify them, and this also translates over to looking at the success of a project. So the first thing is the community, right? If their community is active, if their community cares about their project and their vision, it means that they've touched hearts and that they have created a solution to a problem within a niche. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I want to be seeing constant development and communication between the development team as well as the consumers or the investors, right? So in this case, I've seen that MicroGPT has done a lot of this. You guys are keeping everyone very updated. You're very open. You know, I see that you're constantly developing, right? And that leads me into my last point is, I want to see constant development regardless of the market sentiment. So whether the market is pumping or the market is dumping, I want to look at projects, and projects that want to be successful should always be building consistently, irregardless of market conditions. So with these 3 things, I think with these 3 things, I've actually used this strategy personally and caught a lot of these great projects very early on. Like I was in Render at 59 cents, Injective was $2. You know, I've had a lot of other plays that I don't want to really mention because, you know, they go up and down.
Yeah.
But I think that having these 3 set rules as a guide for success in terms of scoping out projects is very important. And I love to see that MicroGPT has checked off every single box in my list personally.
I appreciate that, man. I want to touch on the reason why I asked this question before I continue my pitch on MicroGPT is because you said something very important, at least for me, development updates.
Yes.
And always building. In the last cycle for utility projects, which was back in 2023,
Yeah.
A lot of people, because I worked with a lot of projects and I've seen them build, and a lot of times the communities are always left in the dark. Whether the developers are actually working or not, the community is left in the dark regarding development updates. And those project owners or developers don't understand the value of an update. It does make, so like to make a coin go up, all you need is more buy pressure and less sell pressure.
Yeah.
If you're not updating your community and leaving them in the dark, that's going to start leading them to skepticism. And that leads to either sell pressure or speculation to more buy pressure. Maybe something big is coming, but also maybe nothing is coming.
Yeah. And
so it
all starts from one small tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. One small message, whatever they call it on X now, right?
Yeah.
It's a chain effect, because once you upset one person, a lot. Like I had a project that I was really big into. It was an ecosystem project. They worked with the Japanese government. It was really big, and I did make a good amount of money on it, but not as much as I wanted to, because I had to sell my position as soon as I noticed A, that earlier we talked about the website was bad, but B, they had not updated the community on any of the development that they had made. They had a roadmap that was clearly set with dates that they were not fulfilling, but they weren't updating the people on it. I personally knew that, hey, this development team is working, right? They're great, but if you're not telling the people, it starts with one small bad comment. And when I saw this guy, a random X user, he was commenting on every single one of their tweets, and he was saying how, like, look, you guys did not deliver on this, and this. He would copy and paste it every time they posted. Guess what? The market is pumping today. This coin is down like 30%, 20%. I'm glad that I let go of it earlier because of these signs, right? And the people who notice these signs early on are ones who are going to be able to warn others, right?
Yeah.
So all it takes is that one tweet, man.
100%. One tweet, one message, one announcement. And so here's where MicroGPT steps in.
Yes.
We understood that sometimes communicating between developers, founders, and then the community is a hassle.
Yeah.
Especially if you're hiring third world country developers where their English is, or they have like an English barrier.
Yes.
Or like a language barrier. It becomes very difficult. So the solution we built using AI was something that detects those changes on the back end and understands what the change is. Like it would read the code literally,
Yeah.
and then make a human readable announcement on Telegram or whatever channel you want to connect with.
That.
So that way you don't have to put any efforts once you connect everything together on our dashboard. You don't have to do anything. Whenever your developers make a change, let's say add a button on the website,
Yeah.
your community is automatically updated, and they would know, hey, there's a new button on the website.
Yes, they feel a part of that developmental process.
Yeah.
And that's what's vital for a project success, is winning over that community, winning over the people who are rooting for them, right? Because once you get that satisfies the first step, and it satisfies the second step of my 3-step plan, right? You have your community who's backing you very well, as well as you have you have the constant development updates, right? So it's definitely a formula for success. And I like that you guys have not just constant updates, automated updates, right?
Yeah.
Because as an investor, I feel very secure knowing that there's constantly something being built.
Yeah, and that's the solution we offer to other projects too. So if you guys want to integrate micro alerts within your own company, you can keep your entire community synchronized with your own updates. And we noticed that, because I also come from the Web 2 world.
Yeah.
In Web 2 as well, sometimes you have non-technical co-founders talking to developers. That was another issue. There's a gap between the developers and the founders where they don't understand some of those technical terms on the updates they make. Let's say they're updating the database. Okay, what does that mean? Or they're migrating the database. What does that mean for a non-technical founder? They don't really understand.
No.
With AI, it's able to explain those terms like to someone who's 5 years old who doesn't really speak good
very
English.
basic terms to explain complex solutions.
Exactly. On ChatGPT, you could do that easily.
Yeah.
So that solution is also offered by MicroGPT. You can keep your entire company structure within sync if you just connect your GitHub repository or whatever version control system you use to keep your code base safe. Your entire company can be in sync. Whether you have a QA team who wants to start doing some testing on your platform whenever a change is made, or a marketing team that should be starting some marketing tweets. So it could be used in both worlds, the Web 2 and Web 3.
Yes.
And this is why I love this product, Micro Alerts.
It really bridges that gap.
Yeah, and it's very unique. There's a lot of like alerts systems out there, but none of them are using the power of AI and
Not at all.
contextual like awareness.
Yes.
That's something that we offer and really focus on making sure that every human is able to read those announcements and understand exactly what the change is about.
Yes, accessibility to that kind of information allows you to broaden your scope for investment.
100%. And you touched on community.
Yeah.
I go on Twitter all the time. So there's this guy called Murad, and he's vouching for a lot of meme coins, and his main thesis is community believing.
He's right.
It is community.
That's why meme coins are a thing. Dogecoin just flipped Bank of America.
Dogecoin flipped a bunch of things. XRP too.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Dogecoin, I think, is the first meme to touch $100 billion market cap.
Wow.
That
Right.
like Dogecoin. I mean,
That goes to show how far community progression can be.
yeah. And how do you make a community believe? Not by not updating them.
Exactly.
You have to
right?
make them constantly with you and within this journey. Whether you're building a meme project or you're building a utility project or building a company, you gotta make sure they're always in sync with you throughout every single step.
Yes.
When there's downtrends, you gotta make sure they're also believing, making sure that you're always there, not gonna leave them when there's like
Exactly.
down.
and that
like-
you're willing to put that money in
Yeah.
to invest and create something that's beneficial for everyone, right? And you can see that through your tool. The tools that you have explained to me are all things that benefit the person directly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what, because your community is your clients, right?
100%, yeah.
If you can create that same trust that you would have, let's say in the Web 2 world with your clients, but in the Web 3 world with your community, you're bound for success.
100%. You were talking about